Hey guys, here we are.
No, let's redo that. Okay.
Alright, are you guys ready? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Hey guys.
Somebody smells like onions.
Here we are. It's me. We forgot to record the first one. That's why we're doing this. It's a little thingy to do record. Chris, what do you want to say? The first episode is not recorded, so we do this.
Yeah, so we are Al Pacino's Prison Scene. We are a podcast of three guys who talk about movies that on the surface don't mean anything, and then we talk about the meaning in them. But it's mostly Kyle. I'm a funny guy, and he's the boss of us.
I talk.
Kyle, well, he's smart man.
It really smells like onions in here. Oh, it's a trash can. It's open.
We're in a fucking closet.
Why don't you have the lid on the trash can?
Like, comment, subscribe. Al Pacino's Prison Scene everywhere you find your podcast. Okay.
Yeah. Also, there's like
goodbye. Sound sauerkraut.
Sound sauerkraut. That's our
Sound
slogan.
sauerkraut.
That's our slogan. Bye.
You guys hear that? That's the sound of what should be being recorded, but you know. Howdy roundabout, all you shaggy goose egg boys, and welcome back to the Pacino Pod's Prison Scene,
Hey.
where we watch the movies and we think about it. When's the last time that I did that intro? Where we I said the thing.
I don't think you've ever done that since we've been on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Chris is feeling a little bit rough. You know, this is, as you know, we were supposed to be recording this, but he forgot his little tray thing, I guess. And Brady Jordan, I'm looking at you. You sold him a jank camera that didn't have a bottom plate for the real camera.
Yeah, for probably more money than it's actually worth.
Yeah. So kind of fuck you. Chris, we love you. Hold my hand, please. Thank you. No, I said hold my hand. I said hold my hand, Chris. There we go. All right, boys. Like we said, we're headed back. This is a school year. What are you going to season 2? Whatever we're going to call it. But we have a special guest here.
It's me.
It's Kyle.
I'm back, everybody, after my extended vacation.
His sabbatical.
My sabbatical. Oh, you didn't know? I wasn't here on the last 8 episodes.
It was a figment of your imagination.
Okay.
No, but we do have an actual...
I've never been on the podcast before. Hey, my name's Kyle. Who are you?
I've had no sleep. This isn't funny.
He took the weeds.
No, I did not. I wish.
Yeah, Claire's not here, so...
I wish.
All right, but we do have...
My family listens to this.
Fuck your family.
No, they don't. My family's not good.
Anyway. Hello, we have my family. At the table we have with us, what's her face?
Hi, Mom.
We have Mom. Everybody say hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Wait, she was saying hi, Mom. So hi, Grandma? Grandma?
Oh,
Grandma.
Is that a Pokemon? We also have the rest of the fam here, though. I don't know if you heard that random noise. That was my father over there sitting against the wall doing whatever. And then we got the 2 little guys over there. We got the one that's looks like a rhinoceros.
Thank you.
And then we got
He
the
sounds
one.
like a rhinoceros.
That's what I'm saying. Then we got the one who looks like a friggin' golf ball with hair.
He sounds like a golf ball.
He's just the audio
What?
now. That's what it is.
What?
Huh.
I tuned out. Sorry.
Chris is.
Hey, what a good segue. Because talk about tuning. You know what gets tuned?
My
Guitars.
mom.
Oh, I forgot to do that. I meant to do that. My mom. Guitars. And you know what movie we're doing today?
Guitars.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Shit. Oh, good for Chris.
Yeah, good for Chris. Yeah, he also watched the wrong movie, but then he watched the right one, so it's okay. Yeah, my mom, when she came in here, she said, we all know Chris is a piece of shit.
But it's okay.
It was the first thing that she said when I walked in.
Chris knocked on the door, said, "Oh, hello," and she said, "Oh, good. Chris is a piece of shit." And we all were just standing there like, "Whoa."
Yeah, that's not a joke. It's pretty much how it happened.
We all know Chris is a piece of shit, but I'm here to defend him today. So you boys quit picking on him right now.
Hey, Chris.
She said that I'm a piece of shit more times
But
than she said
picking
that,
on him.
that I'm defending
I'm here
him.
to defend you.
She's like, "I'm here to defend that piece of shit." And
Hey,
she said,
you
"That's
know what?
my piece of shit."
You know what Jason always says?
What?
You're a piece of shit.
Yeah. You know, he goes, in theory.
In theory.
You're a piece of shit.
Oh yeah.
That one's for you, Jason. $10. School of Rock.
School of Rock.
We did this one because it's back to school and it has school in the title. So I thought,
It's pretty smart.
that'd be a good one to do.
Yeah.
So here we are doing that. This movie, for those of you who can't see into my apartment, my old one, I had a poster wall. And on the poster wall, there were 65 frames from a movie. Movies.
It was all the same movie.
Yeah, it was
It was
literally
a solid 2.
literally 65 continuous frames
Yeah.
of nothing that really mattered either.
It was
just
like
kinda,
4 seconds.
Yeah. But one of them was School. Is that good? See, Chris likes
Why
it.
do you always make pizza?
Because it's good.
Because he knows you want a piece of this.
Anyway. And on that poster, Chris thought that was funny. On that poster wall was School of Rock. And it's always been a classic.
Yeah.
But really this time, I don't know about you guys, really this time it was like, holy crap, this is a good
Oh
movie.
yeah. I mean, this is basically like Tenacious D meets Dead Poet Society.
I haven't seen Dead
You haven't. Yeah, clearly you haven't. I haven't. I had a stroke.
I cooked the shrimp with alcohol, so
Yeah.
Wait, really?
yeah.
Oh,
You
Chris
taste
is
it?
like, how am I going to drive home?
I got some more snaps for you if you
God.
want it. I got
I'm right
snaps
here.
and Sprite.
I'm right here.
But yeah, School of Rock. Anyway, poster wall, fantastic movie, nostalgic, but really, again, just a good movie.
Yeah.
I laughed at this one more than I did Tenacious D,
Mhm.
which I don't know if that's I don't know what that means.
Well, this came out first, right?
This is 2003.
And then Tenacious D was 2004, wasn't it?
2006.
Okay.
Oh wow.
So yeah, 4 years later, 3 years later, we have this.
Yeah.
What about you, Mom? Because you're a little bit older. You're like 40 or something.
Or something. Well, I like School of Rock a lot. I like the music. You know, they play a little Who in there,
Mhm.
which I'm a super huge Who fan. So
And it goes,
Wait, who?
exactly.
Doctor Who.
he goes,
The-
step off.
Yes. Lots of guitar. And you know, the one young guy in that reminds me of Adrian Brody too. He looks like he's
Oh,
Adrian
Zach.
Brody, but the younger guy. Yeah.
Zach, the guitar guy.
And
Yeah.
so I think he's cute.
I didn't.
He's weird cute.
Well, he's
weird
he
cute
is-
like
he is
Kylo
definitely
Ren.
a minor.
Yeah, I think.
No,
he
I'm
was
talking about
what-
Adrian Brody.
Oh,
Well, at one
Betsy.
point he was a minor.
he was a minor at the point you're thinking of.
Okay, and then I'm gonna be like my dad, and I'm gonna be like,
Uh-oh.
how come like Jack Black's
Oh,
character was not arrested
No.
for impersonating
Oh,
another
yes, thank
person
you.
and
Well,
You
he
you know,
kind of
basically
was.
being in the presence of minors without the appropriate clearance.
Oh, he ran away.
But
that's why.
everything goes,
Wait,
you know,
who?
turns out well for him. And so I know that my father would be critical of that. So therefore I must call that out.
Yeah, well, Grandpa Folk. You know what? You're right.
I was gonna say I thought about that when I watched it this time, and I was expecting a line of dialogue to be like, "Ah, we didn't press charges," but that never happened.
There's absolutely
Yeah.
no closure.
I mean, they make
on
a
that
joke
topic.
about that, like, for all the parents know, he molested them, which I mean,
He
did,
even
of course.
hints at that too.
Yeah, but like for all they know, he did.
He goes, "I'm pretty sure I touched them too."
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing: they rocked so hard it didn't matter.
That's what it. Yeah, one rock show can change the world. That's what he says.
Or
That's
a man's
what she
life.
said.
No, that's what he said.
Well, she
No, that's
said
what
it
Dwayne
too.
Johnson's
As long
wife
as you're
said.
rock hard, it's okay.
Oh,
Rock show.
Yeah.
Ew.
Chris,
That's bad.
there are children here.
I know.
All right, recap time.
You curse in front of your family.
Jungle
That's
Cruise.
cool.
Shut the fuck up.
Wow, he's so cool. I want to be
All
like
right,
him one day.
All right,
All right.
hold on. Okay, do you make this a bit snappy because she does have to leave at some point?
Yes.
So-
They have to go to class.
Please feel free to help me
I have
with
to go to
this
school.
because I'm prefacing this right now. This is going to be a rocky ass recap, like more than normal.
Nice pun. Good one.
I didn't even do that intentionally. Thank you, Kyle. All right.
School Rock.
Maybe
Oh,
he's not a biggest piece of shit as we all thought.
Ting tang.
they're only 10 times.
I'm just a little pebble.
Oh,
All right.
All right, School of Rock.
All right. School of Rock starts off with Tenacious D performing it's Jack Black's other band that's fictional. Playing a little rock show in an open mic night, and he tries to crowd surf, but he lands on his face, and then we cut to him
he
sleeping
crowd
on
drowns.
his face in his apartment. And
Good shot.
Yeah, good shot. Also, well, I'll talk about it later. So anyway, his buddy and roommate Ned comes up to him, and he's like,
Ned, $10. Actually, you know what? $20.
And so his buddy, okay, and so his buddy and roommate comes up to him and says, "Hey man,
Hey, you know what they say? Power of threes, baby.
hey man, I don't got much self-esteem or money, and my girlfriend is begging me to make you pay rent that you haven't paid in years." And he's like, "Oh, okay."
Okay.
Chris is a good storyteller.
Yeah. And so he's like, "Yeah, I'll pay you back when I make it big as a rock star." And they're like, "Huh, good luck with that." And so later, by the way, his roommate is a teacher, he's a substitute teacher at the moment, and Jack Black's character's name is Dewey. I didn't say that. And so anyway, he hears a call on the home phone, picks it up, and they say, "Hey, we're a cool prep school, and we need a substitute teacher now. Are you Ned?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm Ned," but he's not. And
No,
so
he goes, "Yo, I'm Ned."
And so they're like, "Oh, okay, we'll pay you $600 at the end of the week, and you just come substitute right now." And he's like, "Okay." And so he drives over to the school, and they're like, "Hey, here's the kids. Okay, bye." And he's like, "All right, cool." And so he just kind of slacks off. And the kids are like, "Well, wait a minute, we're preppy kids, and we want to learn." And he's like, "Oh, that's not normal. Just have recess." And so, all right, help me out.
They have recess.
They have recess, and then a couple days go by,
One day.
and Schneebly's like, "I don't care. Do what you want." And then Summer's like, "I want gold stars." And Freddie is like, "Ned." Because he also has a lot of demerits because he's the cool kid. And then the lady, the Miss Mullins or whatever, is like something. She's like, "Man," or whatever. And then they already had
go
lunch.
to music class.
And yeah, they already had lunch. And they go to music class. And Schneebly's like...
Well, this is Dewey as Ned Schneebly.
For those of you who can't see, I was giving a curious look.
Yeah, so he listens into the kids at music class, and he's like, "Oh, wow, these kids are actually kind of talented." And so he goes out to his van, he gets all his music equipment. When the kids come back, they see all this like guitars and keyboards and stuff, and drums are in the class, and Ned is now finally excited to teach them how to be rock stars. And so that's pretty much the rest of the movie, because he thinks that he can use the kids, or I shouldn't
use the kids to destroy the kids.
No, I shouldn't say the word use, because like it kind of seems like
in
that.
order to defeat kids,
But
you gotta use kids. Hey, but you know what? Kids are usually like not that tall. One might say they're short, and one might say you can smoke up and short out.
I hate that that's a phrase that I didn't even want to.
Hey, you said it.
Oh, I
Smoke up
know
and short
exactly
out.
what you're doing. Please stop.
Do you? Do
Yeah.
you? Distraction.
Yeah. Did you feel
Yeah, I
the
know,
other foot, or
this
did
is-
you just feel that one?
For those of you who can't
So
see,
anyway, he
for
gets
those
the
of you who
kids
can't
together.
see, Kyle's
Oh my God.
untying his shoes, but Chris doesn't know it.
I
He's trying to
know
keep it a
it.
secret.
I am watching
Chris
him
doesn't
do
know
it.
it.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know at this point. Sheesh.
Oh my god! All right. So anyway, he basically
Leave
decides
in the comments
to
if you
teach
could tell.
the kids like how to play like bass guitar and electric guitar, as opposed to like cello and all the classical instruments that they're using, and they're really good because they're naturally talented. He sees this, and even the kids who can't play musical instruments, he instruments. He makes a point to give them a job, to make sure that they're included. And so it does change from him using them to like
Touching
win battle of the bands to pay the rent. To he just wants to make the kind of band that he's never been in before, where it feels more like a family. And so that's pretty much
family.
And so really,
you don't need to play good music when you have family.
Really, that's mostly the rest of the movie. He tells them that this is instead of a battle of the bands, this is a music like contest for like, did you say homeschools?
No, for all the schools in the
Yeah,
state.
for all the schools in the state, and like this is a school sanctioned thing, but he doesn't want them to tell like the teachers or the parents or anything, because he's like, oh, we're getting a head start.
So
And
pretty much he kidnaps them.
Pretty
That's what
much,
you told me.
honestly.
No, they
yeah.
don't- they
He
sleep.
uses them and he kidnaps
So they
them.
Yeah,
and
because after
He
he
kid
touches
awakes
them.
Yeah, he kid awakes them.
Well, we're almost there. But anyway, so after they practice for like a week or so, they do go to the audition, and some stuff happens. He has a little heart-to-heart to the drummer kid, and so they come back and they're like, oh, auditions are over, and he's like, oh wait, no, that's not good. And so he decides to have the kids act like they have cancer, and so they're like, okay, since you're with Make-A-Wish Foundation, I'll let you guys play without even doing an audition. So they're like, okay, cool, we're able to do the contest. And then the principal lady is like, oh no, the teacher's doing
Pudding
a
Pops!
contest.
The principal lady is played by Bill Cosby. All right.
Anyway, Kyle said something bad, not me this time. And
I'm tired.
yeah. So anyway, the principal lady is like, oh, well, you gotta put together a presentation because all the students' parents are going to be here, and I have low self-esteem as well. And he's like, oh shit.
Dewey goes, oh, Mickey, I don't know how to do a presentation.
Of course. But
She was also in Looney Tunes back.
so anyway, yeah, he has a parent-teacher conference
She was awesome.
with the students as well. Like the entire classroom with the parents are there, and he's not able to save himself. I mean, the police show up too, because right before then his roommate,
Ned's freaking girlfriend.
yeah, well,
Dummy.
his roommate Nate
That
finds out that
bitch.
he's been doing
Yeah.
this.
Sarah Silverman.
Which honestly,
Yeah.
why would you bitch
Sarah
about that? I mean, he
Silverman,
did
like
his
Sarah
job for him, and he got the
breaking up with
paycheck
you,
anyway.
man.
So,
Sarah Killer.
but so anyway, yeah, it looks like he has been,
Terminated.
well, yeah, like abducting kids and stuff and endangering them. And instead of
Yeah.
going to jail, the police just take him back to his apartment.
no,
Even
that's
though
not
I
what
feel like it
happens.
probably.
Well, he
somebody
does.
wrote
He
it
runs
down or
away.
something.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
runs
and the
away.
police don't arrest him. So
Because he's
he-
hiding.
Yeah. And
Like
so,
impersonating another person, isn't that
and
like
so
a
this is
federal
the day
offense?
before the contest, and the students decide to abduct the bus driver to have the bus driver
I don't think the
take.
bus driver knows that he's being abducted.
Yeah, he doesn't. I'm trying to be funny. Shut the fuck up. So,
Yeah, let's not
Got
work
him.
it. You know what's funny, Chris?
what?
Don't
I
say
forgot
it.
The tray
Hey, yeah.
is for horses.
So anyway, they abduct they abduct Dewey, and they're like, "Hey, we're going to see this through. We're gonna do the contest." And he's like, "All right, cool." And so they get there, and they're like, "Oh wow, we're really intimidated by all these like grown up bands." And they're like, "Hey, no, you guys are great." And I want to use the song that our guitarist wrote, Zach, and it's awesome because it's a song about like the prep school and how it's like, no, you need to be this, you can't go out and experience the art and shit and be yourself, and it's an awesome song. And it starts out with, if I'm not mistaken, it's the guitar riff that opens, is it Blood by AC/DC? It's an AC/DC song.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's Blood.
Yeah, I'm pretty
If you
sure.
want Blood, you got it. And also kind of a note, they're wearing their school uniforms, and they make a school uniform for Jack Black, and he kind of resembles the lead singer of AC/DC in that. So that's all I was going to
That's
say.
definitely an accurate observation.
Yeah, and
I don't know
And
what it
so
looks like.
they rock out,
Oh, I'm
and
stupid. I've been thinking of Kiss this whole
and the
time.
parents are in the audience
What?
because they thought
I got
that
it
he had
confused.
deducted the kids, and
You say he deducted?
he had abducted the
Okay.
kids. I have a list.
These kids, they're
They're
And
these
so,
kids.
and
I
so
took them.
they're in the audience and they see their kids are rocking out and they're like, you know what, my kid's talented. We should let this guy have a after school program where he like continues to teach them rock music, and that is exactly what happens, and that is how it ends. And then it goes to the credits where they play Long Way to the Top. If you want to rock and roll, which is an ACDC
And
song.
then they end it
ACDC
with-
song.
with a fourth wall break.
The movie's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, that was
Or
like a
whatever they
really
say.
cool credit scene. Also, I found out today that they did a 10-year reunion
They
concert.
did. You didn't know about that?
I did not know that.
Oh, really?
No.
Dang. Yeah, that
Oh.
happened back in like 2013.
Yeah, I know.
Well-
that 20 years coming
Oh
up.
shit! Yeah, it's almost time.
I'm here
Yeah.
for it.
I wonder what all those kids look like growing up now, because like
Yeah.
a lot of them are. A lot
I know
of them are,
one
like,
of them's in prison.
No, Drake Bell wasn't in there.
Oh. Wait.
Got him.
No, names every celebrity wasn't in there.
Hey man, if you're a good teacher, you're a good teacher. All right, listen up, boys. So actually, I was taking notes pretty solidly, like the first like 20 minutes, and then I accidentally stopped and just kept watching the movie.
That was me, but instead of like.
Yeah, but you
20
just
minutes,
don't take
it was,
notes,
It was
Chris.
5 minutes. I do.
I
Where
thought you were
they
going
at?
to say you fell asleep.
So you don't write them.
I hardly took any notes after the first act ended,
Yeah, me too.
and then like I wrote some things that of my like thoughts about it once like the last concert was being on, and then I started writing what I was thought it was about or whatever. But I didn't take notes after like the first like once everything got set up.
Yeah.
And once, like, basically, I would say, like, once the kids, like, once he brought the instrument in for the kids, I just stopped, like, taking notes.
Well, is that because for me, it was like I've just seen this movie so many times that number one, I was just so entertained by it and so, like, drawn into it that I didn't, but also I've seen it enough that I didn't have to.
Yeah, it was a little bit like that, yeah. Excuse me. Until I got to the very end, I was kind of worried that I wasn't going to find anything, like, substantive to talk about with this one. Because this is one of those ones where it's more so just like a fun romp. It doesn't really have any, or I don't think it was actively trying to give an explicit meaning beyond like a general, like, hey, do something good,
Right.
kind of thing. But because it flirts around with a bunch of ideas, but it doesn't really, its finale doesn't really tackle any of those ideas. I don't think so, at least. And maybe we can talk about that. But it was on the other side. Like, I had seen this like a bunch growing up, and so I was like, oh yeah, shit, I remember this now.
All right, Chris, what about you?
As far as what it's about,
Well, that and like you said, like you stopped taking notes. It just
I didn't really have many notes. But one
Okay.
thing was that I this is the most like creative credits that I've seen. Not just the closing credits, but even the opening. It was like the production companies were all shown diegetically in the like band posters and stuff. This was made by Paramount, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
why is it on Paramount Plus?
Well, is it not technically a Nickelodeon movie?
Was it not on Paramount Plus?
I didn't check.
Should be.
Let me look.
I'm pretty sure it was.
I know they made like a fucking like sitcom adaptation of it,
Which is probably
I did
awful.
see that too,
Probably
advertised.
super stupid.
I did not look at it. I just saw it advertised.
Nickelodeon. All Nickelodeon live action shows were terrible. after
anything
Drake
that was
Josh and-
originally like Jack Black
Oh, it is on there.
was
It is
just,
a Nickelodeon film.
was just
Yes.
Tenacious D for
I
Did
didn't
you not know
know
that?
that.
Because they gave a Nickelodeon
yeah.
at the
I
beginning.
just think about iCarly.
This may be the
Nickelodeon.
best thing that company has ever made because
Nickelodeon?
it feels like the least corporate thing that they like movie.
we
I mean,
did
yeah,
Barnyard.
they
I was gonna
literally
say.
say "stick it to the man."
yeah.
What is it? Stick it to the monosis.
Stick it to the
But
monosis.
but it doesn't really feel like most Looney Tunes movies do, where it's like they're trying too hard.
That's not Paramount.
No, I'm just talking about like the corporate
Yeah.
movies that say corporations are bad.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Which is always really funny.
yeah.
And then people eat that shit up. They're like, yeah, they are. Oh,
Did you-
I need a hamburger.
I loved during like the midst of the pandemic. We're gonna get there, guys. I promise. But it like Lay's specifically, it was like it's not about brands. We're not trying to be a brand, but we're Lay's. Buy our chips because we're not a brand.
Yeah.
And it was like, wait a second. What are you
You're
doing?
trying to get the people in New York City to go, well, it passes my morality test. I guess I'll still buy it as if I was ever going to stop.
All right, Amazon people, nose ring, head ass, looking at you. All right. Anyway, Chris, you look like Shaggy
I wish I could do Shaggy.
Oh,
impersonation.
Zoinks,
in the
he
best way
does.
possible.
Yo.
In the best way.
I
possible.
like Zoinks.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, he's got the
I
Shaggy
have
underwear
not tried-
too.
I don't even know what underwear I'm wearing.
He's like, oh my God, that's not mine. He goes, that's Claire's.
Okay, so yeah, as far as meaning goes, Chris.
Well, I mean, simply put, stick it to the man. But also other things. Things. Like, well, it kind of ties into what Tenacious D was about, like the upbringing of
Friendship.
Shut the fuck up, Kyle. No, it's more. Sorry,
Wait, I'm sorry. I kind of zoned
Was
out.
I like past the mic?
I kinda
How
zoned out
should
for a second. I was like, wait, what?
sure?
no, because I had a good point. Well, it like
Y'all quit picking on Chris.
Thank you,
See, that's why I'm here.
thank you.
You're
so hard to
welcome.
do. It's just
Y'all put bubbles in your mouth now and behave so Chris can make his point.
I've never heard that phrase.
And then we can make it, and then we can move on. Chris, that was
okay.
this is why we. Yeah, it's like, all right, Chris, your turn. He goes.
It's. I mean, kind of how like generations before, like current try to live through them
Mhm.
in a way,
Yeah.
and they just kind of
Vicariously.
create the same cycle. So.
Okay. All right, Mom.
Oh
wait, you didn't watch
You mean,
it.
like,
I didn't watch the
keeping
movie
tradition kind of
recently.
thing?
I
Yeah,
couldn't
well-
find it on any streaming service.
That's why I watch it legally.
But yeah, well,
I
I don't know.
borrowed
I don't know
my
how to
cousin's
do that
Paramount
because I'm
Plus.
old as freaking mold. So I don't know how the hell to do
Well,
that.
my mole just got there.
So
Where at?
no, it's been
Bread.
there. You just didn't know.
Oh.
You just
What?
couldn't see it.
Bread.
You want
mold.
some bread?
Bread.
I've got
Oh.
plenty of bread. I tried to give Jake some bread a few weeks ago, and it was just rock hard. You know what else is?
That's also what she said.
The Rock.
Dude,
With
Hey
his
guys, there's some
muscles.
stale ass fucking bread in here. You remember
Yeah.
that?
Oh yeah, man, you
Dude,
got
that-
some stale ass.
All right,
fucking
what were
bread.
we saying?
Well,
Mom?
I just, because I try to think, okay, like, was there a lesson learned? But again, I feel like Jack Black's character may have been the one to learn a lesson.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you should be going to jail or having some sort of
Yeah,
penalty for what
I
you've
don't
done.
think Jack
But
Black.
he didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe the parents had the lesson because I'm just having flashbacks to like Sister Act 2, right?
I don't
Where
know.
old,
I-
oh my gosh.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg, but the second one where, oh my gosh, I can see her face, but I can't think of her name because, again, I'm so damn old. And her mom, like, does not want her either to chase her dreams.
So
even
basically,
though,
parents are trash.
Sure. Parents
Hey,
do,
Mom said it.
listen, parents do have a bad habit of stifling their children's spirits.
Mhm.
We try to make
Yeah.
them someone that they're not.
Mm.
We do. That's
Why
why
do you
you
think
have
that
three,
is?
because by the time you get to the third one, you don't really care anymore and you don't stifle their spirit.
So
So
why do you think that is?
I'm gonna tell you when I'm done reading the seven habits of highly effective people, because like that's what
Okay.
the intro in that book is about, is basically how it's our perspective
Stupid.
that impacts how we're like we all do it, but parents especially try to make everybody else fit the mold of their perspective.
Mhm.
So
But I mean, like on a social level, why do you think that is so pervasive? Because I think it has something to do with the fact that is necessary. Maybe not to the extent that we see, like like in like School of Rock or like Tenacious D or something like that. But it's certainly necessary that you don't want your kids to be someone that other people hate.
yeah, I mean, I do think like it's like being a productive member of society, right?
Mhm.
And it speaks too about like how that reflects on us.
Yeah.
So really it is an issue of a fear of failure with yourself.
Right.
And
Mm.
that's why you're really trying to control your children and make them into this productive member of society. But it's the productive member of society that society labels. And I do think that in our history now, we've come to a point where we are a lot more open to allowing people to be more themselves. But, you know, just being like blue collar, conservative, I think especially with other people who think more conservatively in things, it's still really a stigma with us, you know, for our kids not to fit that perfect mold. But it's totally a societal thing. So again, the kids in this then through Jack Black's character are allowed to have some of that freedom, and they're allowed to have some of that exploration. And really, I mean, he does do something good in introducing them to music and a different type of music and exploring their own creativity and who they really are. And so again, I think it's great for the kids, and there's some, you know, good character development there with the kids and things. But again, I'm just like Jack Black, you probably shouldn't have arrested. And I don't know why you weren't arrested. Because it's a movie, Mom. Yes,
Hey,
because it's a movie. But
do you guys see where I get my big braids from now?
No.
Oh. I was
She has
they
big
may
brains.
have just called me stupid.
No,
I'm not
no, no,
sure.
no.
I'll let you guys figure that one out.
That's what I
Well,
understood.
I'm starting to kind of like reassess what I think this is about. I think it's also about just the school system or the education system.
I can get behind that
because instead of just using a curriculum for all the kids, Jack Black, even though he's talking about like, you know, rock star stuff and music, he pays attention to the things that each individual kid is good at.
Yeah. Well,
And-
And I mean, we can go ahead and like be biblical and talk about the body of Christ and how the whole emphasis with the body of Christ is that each of these individuals, first of all, are individuals with different giftings, with different abilities and things. And that's where that unity happens, right? So just as you're speaking to in the classroom situation, it's similar, right? They're each individual. And so in order to experience the wholeness and the fullness, we have to gather those things that each individual is good at, right? Because where I'm strong, you're going to be weak, but it's okay because where I'm weak, you're going to be strong. So did they go, is this a public school or a private school here?
It's
a
definitely
private
private.
school. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I will say like my experiences typically in
I
the
went to
private
public
school, which you had a great education. I will never complain about the education you had in public school.
you know that,
But
boys?
in private school, because you have fewer kids in your class, teachers are able to teach outside of just the standardized, you know, system that our feds or our state government anticipates. So in private school, they really are more allowed to explore their unique giftings and things and have their needs met. But I do agree, like Jack Black, definitely his character permitted that exploration in this movie. So
How does it feel to have someone talk as much as you do, Kyle?
Kyle does
I
talk
never
a
get to
lot.
talk that much without
Oh,
being interrupted. Without being interrupted.
Well, it's my
Never in
mother.
my
If
entire
I
life.
interrupt her, she's gonna hit me. So
I would not. Maybe just pull your chest hair out.
that hurts too.
Hey, I won't know that pain. I'm
Baby
I have the
chest.
body of a-
Let me hit a
baby oil chest.
let me hit a
over there.
few points right quick. That
I was gonna say something.
So you talked about
Yes.
you talked about the kids having their parents kind of restrict their creativity, their flow of knowledge, whatever. But Jack Black and Ned have the same thing. I don't even know what is his girlfriend's name.
Sarah Silverman.
Yeah, that's all.
But
That's
in-
what
but
I
in-
call her too.
But in the movie,
I
does she
am-
have a name?
I'm sure she has
Bitch
a
number
name.
one. I don't know.
Was there a bitch number 2?
It would have to be.
I don't know what her name was in there, but I'm sure she's credited
They-
with a name.
They do give her a name. I just forgot what it was.
I don't either. Anyway, point being, but she also kind of serves the same role
She
of.
must not have been highly paid, huh?
No, there she is. Patty is her name.
Of course,
She serves the same role as the parents do, kind of like stifling
Fucking Karen.
not only Ned's but also Jack Black's creativity, because we see she's like, when are you gonna start standing up for yourself. You need to tell him that he needs to move out.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that
Well,
that too.
she's being the presence that's commanding him to not be commanded.
right.
It's ironic.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I love at the end he Ned slams the door in her face and goes to this concert.
Is sticking it to the man or the woman. But I think that is interesting that she's kind of a parallel to, I mean, not necessarily the school board because the principal seems kind of cool, but more the parents.
Right.
And it's not necessarily that like we can't teach you differently, but it's more like instead of what are you good at, it's this is what you're going to be good at.
Right.
I see it as
Well,
a
no,
control issue.
And,
Yeah.
and
It's a
Miss,
control issue.
Miss Mullins
And she does the same.
says this. Miss Mullins says this. She goes to Jack Black with the teaching thing. She's like, "Do you mind if I sit in?" That whole thing happens, and then she says, she's like, I appreciate your willingness and your different styles of teaching, but that's not what we do here.
Mhm.
Here at Preppy Board School, insert name, we do things this way and this way only.
But I think this is something interesting, and I don't know any conclusions that I can draw from it. But Ned was in the same vein as Jack Black before the movie starts, right? He was another like rock and roll guy.
He
He wasn't doing very well.
A
He was dressed as Kiss.
satanic sex god, quote.
Yeah. Now he wasn't making any money. He probably was in the same vein as Jack Black as far as his financial situation goes. And it wasn't until his girlfriend came along that he did settle down enough to actually be able to pay for an apartment and assuming other things that you could want or more importantly need. And I think it's interesting that all of those kids that were in the classroom, statistically, if they stay on that curriculum path, they are more likely than anybody else in our society, barring the few exceptional people who happen to create like an actual product or service that everybody wants. They are the people who are most likely to do well. And I think now it comes on the topic of what is success. How do you define that?
Right.
And that could be difficult. I would say success is specifically not moving backwards, and it's not that you would compare your successful situations to other people. It's that you compare to, like I've said before, compare yourself to who you were yesterday, because if you've grown and changed for the better from who you were yesterday, then that's a success. As long as you're not moving backwards towards your goal, then you're at the very least you're not. Well, I just said that you're not moving backwards, but again, you do have to have a goal, and I think that ties into what do we mean by success? What is the goal for these children? Is it to play these rock shows? Because hey, they might do well, but they might not. But if that's your goal, what happens when it fails? Like, is your goal has to be something that is always obtainable, right? Otherwise, well, I don't think people can live very long without goals.
So not to cut you off, but Soren Kierkegaard kind of talks about this I don't know if I don't think you've looked into this yet, but
I'm reading like 3 books right now, so calm down.
yeah, you know which one isn't one of them?
Kierkegaard's what is it? 3 Spears of
Existence. Yeah.
Well, that's what he talks about. What is the name of it? Because I looked it up and it was like $16, and I was like,
I don't know what the book's called.
Yeah,
but I do know that philosophy. Basically, he talks about there's the aesthetic life, the ethical life, and the religious life.
Mhm.
But the aesthetic life, again, I've talked about this on the podcast. It's just like everybody day to day. Aesthetic would be Ned.
Mhm.
Ned would be the aesthetic life, and the ethical life is basically there's a level of infinitude, right? You have this goal that is unobtainable, right? But you still view it as obtainable, and you strive for that, but you struggle and you suffer through life, right? Where the religious life, you realize the goal is unobtainable, but you still strive for that.
You just described both of those as the same thing.
No, I didn't.
You said the ethical life was an unobtainable goal.
Right? No, they both are.
Okay.
But
So
the
how do they
ethical life
differ?
is not realizing that it's unobtainable.
Oh, so you think it is?
Right.
Okay, I got you.
So the ethical life is you do think it is obtainable.
I got you.
Yeah,
and
so I would disagree with you there when you say you need a tangible goal. And I understand that in
Mhm.
terms of success throughout life, right? Like it's, getting the job,
Mhm.
Being able to pay your house off, yada, yada, yada. But at
Yeah,
the same time, I
being
do
able to
think,
develop relationships.
right, but I think, at least in the sense of this movie, there is also the unobtainable, right?
Mhm.
Because Ned says, just give up.
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm happy now, even though he looks sad.
He's not.
He always
Right.
looks sad. Yeah.
But he's like, look at me. I'm successful. I have a girlfriend who commands me around.
Yeah.
Just give up. And Jack Black goes, it was easy for you to give up, but it's not for me because the music is inside me.
Yeah.
And that success, making it may not even be the ultimate goal that Jack Black has. Maybe the ultimate goal that he has is just to make a living off playing,
Yeah.
just experiencing and playing the music.
No, I understand. I understand that. I'm the point that I think I was trying to make is that you do have to have a goal.
Right.
You can't live without a goal. You can't walk into a fucking room without a goal. Just try to do it. You'll be really confused. You ever done that
Is walking
before?
into the room the goal, or is that?
No, I'm saying yes.
But once you get in there, once you go past that,
Yeah.
you walked into the kitchen.
Okay.
I do that all the time.
You-
I walk in
I
there,
know,
I'm getting a
exactly, and then
drink,
you're
or
extremely
I'm-
confused. You're in a place of intense chaos because you didn't have a goal when you did something. You can't do something without a goal. You just can't. There's nothing that you could say that you could just be like, I need to sleep. That's your goal.
It might be literally impossible.
It is.
Because
That's what I'm saying, because goals, it's not like every single action you take is going to help you get to this unobtainable goal. Although you could argue that that's the case, but or either going to or away from that goal. But you always have some sort of goal in mind because you're an action-oriented person, and goals are just points of
right
where your
in
action
order
goes
to get there.
Yeah. And so that's the point that I'm making, is that you have to have a goal. So if you are alive, you have to have a goal. So you have to think, okay, well, if I have to have one, what is the best goal for me to have? And you have to weigh that against maybe what what you would say your heart tells you and what your mind tells you, right? You have to figure out, okay, what do I want, and then what do I need? How do I find a balance between that so I can constantly be pushing myself? Because again, you don't want to go away from the goal, and you would prefer not to stay stagnant,
Right.
because stagnation is a form of
Well,
death.
I think that's what leads to what we end up with Ms. Mullen's character.
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
how she's just super tightly wound and kind of just stuck. I don't want to say this liminal space, because I don't think she is. She may be, but I wouldn't say that she is.
She's certainly lost.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Well, it's making me think about, and again, I'm thinking about Jack Black's character. I'm thinking about the principal's character, because we do set goals, but what do we do when we find ourselves in that situation where, like, maybe with the principal, maybe her goal was to be principal, and she got there, and maybe she does have some goals inside of that, being the most prestigious school or whatever that may look like. But then you definitely can tell from her character, though, that something is missing in that.
Yeah.
You know,
And that-
and I think
I
it's the
mean-
same thing with like Jack Black's character,
Yeah.
right? Because initially his goal is like, I need to go make $600 to pay rent to get this bitch off my back for a week or two,
Talking to you,
and so then he does that, and initially it's just, okay, I'm getting the paycheck. Well, then his goal shifts,
Yeah.
because he sees the musical talent,
his goal shifts.
and then his goal shifts,
Yeah.
shifts, like shafts, shifts. Anyways,
Speaking of touching,
but his goal changes as he gains knowledge, and even then,
knowledge.
well, I think about where he ends up,
$10.
which is he ends up with this after school program
Right.
that seems to be extremely successful, but that was really never his goal until he went through all these
Yeah.
other steps and then got to this point where
but
it was
it was
like,
always
okay,
his
now
passion.
here it is.
Perhaps
Oh,
it was
100%.
perhaps it
100%.
was his goal. It just wasn't an articulated one.
Well, so and that's kind of where I was going to get to near
Yeah.
the end of this was that I think that we end up with something that is reminiscent of not only Nacho Libre, which is another Jack Black film, but also something reminiscent of Soul, which I don't like Soul's ending already,
Yeah, he
but
should've died.
he should have died, absolutely.
I haven't
But
seen Soul. I need to.
but
I will
we-
say it's pretty good.
Sorry.
But it's not the
no,
best.
yeah,
Inside Out is the
Way
perfect
better.
Pixar movie.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, Inside Out. Have you seen that?
Oh my god,
Dude,
I know
you
we're
gotta
doing
watch
tonight.
it.
I mean,
prepare yourself.
I have always thought that Up was the best.
Well, you haven't
Oh,
seen
Yeah.
that's
Inside
my
Out.
mom's.
I did too
That's
until
my
I saw
mom's
Inside
favorite.
Out.
Really?
Shout out,
Dude,
shout
it's
out,
one of
Nana.
those ones.
That kind of makes me not want to watch.
Shout out
it.
to
Dude, you gotta watch.
me.
Like you and Claire would love that. I bet.
But that's kind
It's
of the
not
point.
anime, so you gotta watch it.
Well, that's the
I don't like anime.
But that's the
well,
Well, what
especially
is it?
especially when she's not here. But but my point in saying that is, and you kind of hit around this as well, Mom, is that what I think you talk about like what lesson can be learned, and so maybe there is not an overall kind of theme that is just woven innately throughout this film, like something in Fast Five. But I still think that it exists at the beginning and at the end. And like as Kyle, you told me in one of our conversations, those two things have to be amazing. And I think here they are. I think so. We set up kind of, again, like you said, what Jack Black's goal was, right? Is to pay the rent, to make money, but to make it as a musical artist, right? For those of you who can't see, Kyle was stroking Chris.
And Chris was rubbing his foot on my leg very
No,
seductively.
Just Kyle was stroking Chris.
No,
That's all
it
we
was
need
it
to
was
know.
definitely mutual.
Well,
Oh, so they were
that-
mutually
yeah.
stroking.
He was good.
and but in the end it's Jack Black's goal, right, has changed into furthering these children's talents, skills, freedoms, whatever you want to call it. And so what we have is a true passion disguised as a word.
We'll do what now?
No.
What were you trying to say?
So Jack Black's ultimate goal
Mhm.
is to teach these kids.
Yeah.
But it was disguised as him wanting.
It was
just to-
disguised as a vanity project,
Yeah.
Okay,
I would say.
there you go. There you go.
perhaps.
But through the film, he discovers what his true passion is, and
Yeah.
that's what happens in Soul. Is that the guy? It was Jamie Foxx voices him, right?
His name is Joe in there, wasn't
Is it Joe?
I'm
Okay,
pretty sure.
regardless, you know what we're talking about. Joe is like, I want to make it big. I want to play with Aretha Franklin or whoever it was. But he goes back to teaching. Holy crap! Soul ripped off School of Rock.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you,
School
Disney.
School of Rock, maybe ripped off Sister Act 2. I'm just putting it out there.
No, they don't play
so-
music in that movie.
No, I haven't seen
They
that
use
movie.
their voices
There
as
literally is
instruments.
no song at all or musical melody whatsoever in that
in
movie.
Sister Act.
Yeah, no.
Oh my
Not a
God.
single
okay.
one.
Okay.
It's been proven.
Okay.
But yeah, so I
The
do
science.
think that that's
I need
kind
you
of
bad.
what. And
that's
what happens in
hard.
Nacho Libre too is that Jack Black wants to be a wrestler, but ends up through this experience, with Espozote or whatever his name is, discovers what his true passion is, which is caring for others, which I think is an ultimate goal of humanity. And I said this in Nacho Libre, it's like taking what you are good at and using that to teach others.
We're talking about self.
I don't think that's the goal of humanity, because I think there are.
Well, I think that's like
I think
that's
that is the goal of Western civilization.
all right, Dom.
I'm just saying that because
He's been honest, hasn't he?
there are.
Who?
Kyle.
What? Yeah, he has.
Like he hates fucking Western civilization, dude. You're
No, he
living
lo-
in the West,
No,
baby.
no, I think he loves it.
Okay. All right.
Why are you looking at it like that?
I did not say.
Is
that.
he
Wait,
giving
no,
me the
wait.
damn stank eye
He
when I'm
is.
not looking?
He
Oh,
is.
shit.
Um,
Oh, I saw him that time! Saw him
Well,
that
no,
time.
I'm saying there are cultures that are very much in favor of not promoting individualism or individuals in general. And there are. I can't, because the thing, and this is the thing that kind of upsets me when I watch The Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt.
Oh, dude, don't even get me started.
Wait, is that the show?
No,
No,
that's
it's
the
a
movie
movie.
that just came out. It's so bad.
So here's the thing.
It's so bad.
Oh, I love Chris Pratt.
It's bad.
If it's
Here's
what
the
I think
thing.
it is, it's directed.
It's actually not too bad. It's a Vietnam. I didn't figure this out until I watched it the second time. It's a movie about Vietnam, and it's actually kind of interesting. Anyways,
Vietnam War.
no, I was saying what I don't like about the Tomorrow War is that when the entire world is threatened by the future, right? And then they do like a worldwide draft, and everybody from every single country, and you see from like all, like generally speaking,
Right.
all the different countries, everybody going voluntarily to go fight for the future. I do not think that would happen. There are lots of countries and lots of different cultures that wouldn't necessarily see the ending of the ending of the world as a terrible thing.
Interesting. Yeah, so
Universalism is wrong because people disagree. Like
Yeah.
you can't have. That's the thing. It's like beyond, I would say, objective scientific philosophies, as in like physics, chemistry, things of that physical science nature. There's no social science universalism. There's not.
well,
You can't
Right.
have it.
and so this is kind of what we run into with 1984 with Ingsoc.
Oh, we're listening to that right now.
It's fantastic.
Mhm.
The ending.
It's one of the best books.
The
Don't say it,
ending
'cause
was
well,
rough.
I don't think I've
Ending was
ever
rough.
read it, and
The
we're
book
listening to it.
I was
right
not.
now.
I was not
Yes.
happy, but I think that's probably the best way it could have ended.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
great
don't
George
say
it.
Orwell,
We're only
man.
on,
George
like,
Orwell was
chapter
a
6.
socialist too.
Look at that. You hear that? Nose rings.
No, my favorite quote of George Orwell is it's something along the lines of, "I wonder if you're a socialist because you like the poor or if you hate the rich." It was something along those lines, and he was a socialist, and I just think that's really, really.
What is this? Black Widow? Hashtag Karl Marx. Not a socialist, but not Western Republic represented republic. So bad.
Does
Does that make sense?
Like I
Did
said-
what I said?
You just gave me a lot of words. And
It's
none
like
of
I
them
said,
really
Black
fit,
Widow's about American nationalism. But
I
because
might
everything
say-
is better in America.
I might say patriotism. I might not go as far as to say nationalism. Anyway, yeah, Ingsoc. Again, that's kind of one of those things. Possibly the only way to reach that is by taking away everyone's freedom.
Mhm.
And so there we go. That's what School of Rock is partially about: is keeping that freedom.
Yeah. No, because I mean, if there's one thing that the '60s taught us is that social engineering does not work.
And disco.
And was that
what
the '60s? That was the '70s. Yeah.
70s, baby.
Well, same year.
Yeah, it's the
Just
same.
change the number.
Yeah,
Math doesn't matter. Hey, math doesn't matter, and Jack Black said it first.
he did say it.
But I know what it is because 2 + 2 = 4 - 1 = 3. Quick maths.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Pretty sure you
Ting,
need
ting.
maths for rock and
2 +
roll.
2 is 4.
Just
No.
It's
It's
not.
not.
You do.
But
You have to be able to count to 4
Because 2
at the
+
very
2
least.
but no, I think
If you
I
can't
can't
count
count to
to
4.
four, what do you do?
1,
I think it's
Yeah, if you can't count to 4, what are you doing?
5.
I think
Yeah,
it's-
if you can't count to 4, what are you doing?
I think
Not counting to 4.
going back,
Nah.
social engineering, it doesn't work because it's like when you have a sociological theory, you're not supposed to insert humans into that theory. You're supposed to have human capacity and all that, their possibility and ability, and then you form a theory off of that, not the reverse. And I know that's kind of hitting around the actual movie, but I think that's important to know is that people are individuals and they have individual capacity, and I think it's so bewildering to me that no matter who you are on the political spectrum, that if you are an outlying ideology, that you believe in social engineering. If you're the ultra conservative, you believe in making everybody, believe what you believe, do what you do, because you believe that's morally superior. The same thing if you're on the far left, is that you think that you're morally superior, so you want everybody to do exactly how you want to do, and both sides want to use specifically government or societal conventions to make people do that because they forget that people are individualistic.
forget that people are people,
Right.
essentially.
Yeah.
You know, like if we take the idea of free will, right? If it exists, well, then it's impossible, like you said, to have any kind of social engineering, because that requires, right, like you said, the control of others. And again, it doesn't exist. It can't.
What does?
Social engineering can't exist. Like creating
Yeah.
a method of operational society.
Yeah.
Unless something like INGSOC, but INGSOC doesn't work because you've taken away all free will. At that point, society is running like a machine, not a society.
Yeah.
Get right.
Well,
Right.
it's like if you have even just the precursory knowledge of history, you would look at any form of government which seeks to, let's say, oppress the people by curbing freedoms, and what American the founding fathers suggested were natural laws, or excuse me, natural. It's natural law. Yeah. If you have governments that curb those natural laws, you always see an uprising.
Just,
You always do.
curb your enthusiasm.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's not that maybe you're going to see it, and it's not that maybe you'll even see it within your generation or in the generation after you, but you will see an uprising, because history has a funny way of going towards a more, I would say, liberal society. It's always done that since since civilization's been formed. It's gone to a more liberal society, and then that liberalism leans into tyranny, and then the tyranny has to lean back into liberalism, which then will go the opposite way, and it'll swing into ultra conservatism. It'll swing into despotism,
Bye, Chris.
into-
You're on your own.
into
Bye.
oligarchies.
Later, Kyle.
Bye.
All right. Mom just left. Bye, Mom. Everybody say bye, Mom.
Bye, Mom.
Bye, Mother. You're up,
That
Kyle.
was so deep.
Bye,
Bye, Mom.
Bye, mother.
But yeah, you run into Platonic and
Where are
Aristotle.
the other moms going?
Sorry.
You run into the Platonic and Aristotelian schools of thought with that idea of social engineering, because the potentially it's lateral, maybe.
I'm waiting for you to explain it.
So Plato, the way it was described to me, has a prescriptive way of thinking, right? With what is it, Republic? Is that how it's said? Basically, dictates how the government should be run, how society should be run.
You talk about the philosopher king.
Is that what it's called?
Well, Plato suggested that the way that it should be a democratic system, and then the person on top is the philosopher king, who's the wisest among us all. He's voted in, and then he essentially becomes he does everything, right?
Right.
It's not like a parliamentary system or anything like that. It's just you vote the top guy in, top guy does everything.
Right, but the book is the Republic, right?
Yeah. Oh gosh, it's the Republic something. Hold on, I'll look it up.
Regardless, he it's prescriptive, right? It's how things should be.
Yeah.
Is a lot of what his philosophy is. And Aristotle more dived into descriptive thought of how things are. And so the way you were describing the differences,
Oh, it is the Republic.
the way you're describing social engineering, and the way that what it must be is that you look at society and determine how it operates, rather than determine how society operates and then try to force that onto them.
Yeah, well, again, it's the reason that social engineering always fails, and the reason why you always have uprisings in the end after those terrible governmental overreaches were instituted. The reason why is because, well, who decides what's right? Seriously, and that's an individual thing to do.
Yeah.
That's why if you're saying no, what I'm saying is morally right, you have to do it. Well, what if I disagree? You go, oh, okay, well, then we'll fine you. Well, what if I refuse to pay the fine? Well, then you go to jail. What if I refuse to go to jail? Well, then we shoot you. Okay, because at the end of every government law is a gun.
Yeah.
It's always there.
Even if it's trained, like you just said, it's a
It doesn't matter.
strain of actions.
Right, and it's like when you the what is it called? So the social contract that you enact just by being a citizen of a country
Right.
is essentially like, I will follow the laws and I give up a certain amount of my freedoms for you to protect me from the external, right? A certain amount. Now the contract differs between what constitution you're under, which state you're under, but that is that's what the social contract is. And so if you let's see, if you enter into a contract and you're like, all right, I sign away my rights to a certain amount of these freedoms so that you can protect me from, let's say, invaders or something like that. Sure.
Foreigners.
Yeah. Well, um,
Mm.
I'm gonna just skip past that. So, but the problem is that when the government, the people who, let's say, wrote the contract, when they add more stipulations in that take away more of your freedom, well, then the question becomes, well, when is it okay for me to say that I don't agree? When is it okay for me to not sign that contract? And that's a tough question. That's why there's always a balance between government, encroachment and civil liberties, because you have to have a balance there, because the government can't just decide what's right. Oh, you like it's always funny to me that people want to give more moral clarity to the government, and then but we still have a representative republic. It's like, okay, so you agree with the government's moral position on X issue, right? What about in 4 years? What if somebody else takes it over? Should they still have all the same encroachments? Because you don't agree with them then, but you want to give. I can't wrap my mind around why anybody would think that's a good idea. Just deal with it on your own. Be a productive member. Don't seek to minimize risk. Seek to optimize it.
Mm.
So
Suffering.
that's my spiel.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Can you simplify that last point that you made?
The last point?
Yeah.
Okay, well, so specifically in this, there's a relation here to kids, right?
Yeah.
And you see this, like, okay, take the movie Stand By Me, right? Like, you travel
Mhm.
like a billion fucking miles to go see a dead
Yeah,
body, right?
yeah.
Like, kids don't seek to minimize risk, because if you put them in environments where you minimize the risk, the kid doesn't grow, because they don't. Because
Mhm.
then if you put them into the real world,
Yeah.
then they have no ability to operate in that space, and that's where I think a lot of times people have anxiety or anxiety attacks. We would say when you have that overreaction to so much stimuli, it's because, well, you've been, your risk has been minimized all your life.
Unknown to that.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that's true in all
Mhm.
cases, but I think that's true in a lot. But it's not that you need to minimize that; you need to optimize it. You need to say, okay, if I do this, I'll surely die, and if I do this, maybe I'll die. Well, if you have to choose between the two, you're
Go with the
They're-
one that's going to kill you. Absolutely.
well,
Right?
I'm saying go with the one that seems most optimized, right?
Mhm.
And that's the point that I'm trying to make. It's like, you see kids playing unsafely on a playground, and you think, okay, we have to look at this. And again, this is more so, if you're a parent, you would, I guess, be making this decision if your kid's not old enough. But you see your kids playing on an unsafe playground, right? Well, you have to think, okay, if I take them out of this, what is it that they're losing? And if it's to the risk of their, death, I would say, because injury is a risk, sure, but death obviously is more so. To the risk of death, from me removing them from this time, whether they're with their friends or they're exploring, they're learning what it is the limits of their physical body are. What is that risk that I need to balance there? And I think that's a lot of maybe the difficulty with parenting, and even more so with just growing up, is because you do have to extend yourself beyond the confines of your home. You have to, because you again, especially when you are learning and you're exploring. I mean, that's why babies are constantly running around and looking at things and developing their senses. Developing when a child points at something, that is the first indication that they have learned how to separate out something of importance. And that's really powerful, and that's something that you have to do by allowing them to live,
Allowing them to play rock and roll.
allowing them to play rock and roll. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Because they were all a bunch of sad guys. when they were just going to school.
Mhm.
And then Larry
Yeah.
whipped out the old electronic keyboard, and it was like
Was his name Larry?
It's Lawrence.
Oh,
And
okay.
again, not every one of them played instruments or like really joined the band, but like even the kid who does the light show and the kid who apparently like loved making like the uniforms and
Oh,
everything.
you mean the obviously over the top?
I wasn't
gay
gonna say
child?
it, but yeah, but like that allowed them to learn what they were good at.
Right.
And they're not going to be in a rock band, but they can open up a boutique. They can open up a business, like a company.
As Jack Black would say, just because you're not in the band doesn't mean you're not in the band. But yeah, Larry, Larry, $10 if you get that. Goes up to Jack Black and is like, he goes.
Hold up, here. That's the
I do it.
Safety.
Yeah.
I do it.
That's not the safety. This is the safety.
No, you just pull the trigger now. Yeah.
Oh.
Kyle fired a gun.
Not again. Oh, I got it. That's the chamber.
No, that was Lucas that accidentally fired it in.
I got you.
Anyway,
That was a real gun, though.
Yeah, it was a real gun.
Can I have the fake gun?
The real gun?
please?
Yeah.
The real fake gun.
Why he did that? Did you hear that?
It's time to lock and load. Yeah. Don't point it at me, Chris. If I took you to a gun range, I would die.
I'd be like, hey guys.
Well, that's the thing.
I'm like, what'd you say?
My sister did that once. This is back when I got like a BB gun, like way back then.
I've actually fired
and
a gun.
she fired a BB gun, and she was like, like that.
Yeah, Angela did
How
that
are
with
you today?
the rifle.
She did that?
Yeah,
Oh
Wow.
my god.
at a shooting
Well,
range.
like,
and it was whoa.
Yeah.
I might get canceled for this, but I grew up in a household that had guns.
How did you not shoot yourself?
Oh, nose rings. But,
Hot topic, bitches.
yeah. But,
Speaking of hot topics,
Boy, I can't wait for my future employers to find this podcast.
dude, me either.
I can't wait for my current employers to find it.
No, it's okay. You're quitting a job.
Oh.
No, yeah, but I have another one that I need to keep.
Nah,
Which
I-
is-
Oh, my employee's UNA, so UNA don't listen to this, or else.
yeah.
Yeah, so the Asian kid, Lawrence, he
It's
tells
not
Jack Black he's
funny.
not cool enough. But Jack Black's like, no, bro, you're cool, dude. And then guess what? He ends up being cool. All you need is a little bit of loving.
All you need
Well,
is
then make
love.
love.
Is that Beatles?
I don't know.
I think so.
All you need is love.
Stick your finger in it.
Nice.
Oh, what? Stop.
It's so
Have you
tiny.
never fired a gun? Are you not a man?
Cock it.
Nice.
Quit touching my gun. Quit touching my. I'm packing over here. Quit touching it.
Yeah.
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 All right. Well, you guys got anything else?
No, I ranted enough.
Yo, you see the hair?
See, that was the sound that I heard earlier, man. That's what I'm
Hold on,
talking
hold on.
about.
Watch his hair. Watch his hair. Look, watch. You see that?
Yeah, it reacted slightly to the air. How amazing.
Yeah, but it's a lot. Look at that. That's.
I mean,
pretty
those
powerful.
fucking Nerf guns have safeties on them. I think that's badass.
I'm holding my weapon. Stop.
I want to
No.
cock it.
Also, tweet us at Pacino Podcast on Twitter. I'm talking directly into the mic now.
Yeah, we put out promo. We're done with promos.
Well, Jake
most
Jake
part.
still wants to film a promo
For this
one. He wants to keep it up, so we'll see how that goes.
Good. I was gonna ask you.
Not with me, no. But I'm saying I can go get them.
Well. Okay.
It's also Thursday. I mean, we got Sunday.
Yeah. Stop it.
Also, if I see you Sunday, well, you'll get a little promo.
What have we seen on Sunday?
I don't know, but anyways, yeah, tweet us at there. Let us know what you think.
Giving each other a lot of presents lately.
Well, this isn't like.
Who is this?
Let us know what you think about Jack Black. Is he really black? So let us know
Oh my god.
on Twitter if we should cancel him for his last name.
I feel like Jack Black is actually 21 and will always be because, invert the name.
What?
Blackjack. That's funny.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, what? Okay.
Yeah, he's actually a vampire called Blackjack.
But
and
anyways,
he,
you
runs
guys
a casino
know
and shit.
what time it is. It's ready or not scale time. Gotcha, Chris. Made you laugh.
I'm pretty sure this is 0 out of 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a 5 out of 5. Every kid exploded at the end.
I did not need
Not
to
wrong
blow
movie,
your
Chris.
mind. What?
Blow your mind. But that shit happens to Jack Black all the time.
Literally all the time.
All the time.
All
Now
the
let's
time.
take it live
Wait.
to Chris's little hidey hole where he raps.
All right.
He's rapping.
Give me a
tapping.
beat, boys. Give me a beat to free my soul.
I want to get lost in the I knew, that's how I was just about to say that.
No, the actual one is give me the yeet, boys, and free my soul. I want to get tossed in a fucking hole and drift away.
Play me some Beach Boys and pee in a bowl. All right.
In a bowl?
Yeah.
God, I hope it means the porcelain bowl.
I did
Like
write my own
the
version
urinal?
of that song one
Well,
time.
that's what toilets are called.
Oh, it's
Porcelain bowl?
Microwave
Yeah, they-
the bowl.
Yeah, that's like a thing.
No, it's like a green pea.
it used to
in
be
a
made
bowl.
out of porcelain.
Pea in a bowl.
What was that face? Give me a bowl.
Yeah. My name
I
is
felt
not
my,
Ross. I'm a
mustache,
Joe.
like-
Oh,
so
okay, okay. I was
like,
how
yo,
you
look at
do
this.
it?
Can you
Yeah.
do this? Little curvy curve?
I'm sure I could. I mean, yeah. I
You
just
guys
don't
ready
like
for
it.
this shit? You guys
Yeah.
ready for this fucking shit?
How,
Let's
what's
go.
what speed you looking at?
Huh?
Okay, we're going for it.
No.
What is that? Fucking Rihanna?
No. Just give me like a. Alright. That's fine. I needed to wet my whistle before this. Settle in, class. This is a school of rock. I'ma route down your lesson once I find my chalk. This ain't the Jackpot movie with the house and the clock, but I heard his wife says just gotta fuck it. God damn it!
What happened?
I messed up.
Okay, I thought it was me because he started staring at me.
Do it again. Do it again.
Rewind.
All right. Here we go. Settle in, class. This is a school of rock. I'ma write down your lesson once I find my chalk. This ain't the Jackpot movie with the house and the clock, but I heard his wife says he's got a really nice rock, his pet. His name is Rhett, but there's no link to this podcast that we make, cause it kinda stinks. But not as much as Jake's apartment's gonna be. I'ma take a shit in his kitchen sink. What?
I'm leaving all of that in there.
I
That's
dropped.
like the Natalie Portman rap.
I lost the rhythm that I had for that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Hey, we could tell.
That's great.
Hey, Chris.
Same.
What are you trying to?
Hey.
Jake's trying to shoot me, and when he does, I'm gonna.
Jesus.
Bye. What's on SoundCloud?
Stout and sour fuck.
No.
Sound sauerkraut.
Stout and sour cream and onion chips.